News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
News Talk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
An alert out of Missoula for 2 missing children. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Thursday, July 31st, 2014. Another lovely day in western Montana. And every single morning, it's taken the sun a little bit longer to wake up, if you know what I mean. The days are definitely getting shorter. Right now, it's clear and 60 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Dr. Troy Doxey and the friendly team at Chiropractic Works, where they're dedicated to chiropractic solutions. Call 728-0222. Our top story this morning, the Montana Department of Justice has issued a missing and endangered children alert for a 6-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl. Authorities say were taken from Missoula. The alert says the children's 30-year-old mother, who does not have custody of the children, took Caius and Ashley Swanson on Tuesday. Authorities have identified the mother as Fawn Pfeiffer, which is spelled P-H-I-F-E-R. She's 5'8", about 140 pounds. She has red hair and brown eyes. Caius has blonde hair and brown eyes, maybe missing a couple of front teeth. Ashlyn has red hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on their whereabouts asked to call the Missoula Police Department at number 552-6291. Law enforcement agencies in western Montana are mobilizing their forces for this weekend's 32nd annual Rock Creek Testicle Festival, just off I-90 east of Missoula. Highway Patrol Captain James Kitchens says his troopers will have a highly visible presence on both sides of I-90, with a large number of personnel, especially in the evening and overnight hours.
We're going to saturate that area on night shifts and afternoon shifts. We have an aircraft coming in. We have a canine available, and we also have the strategic enforcement, the traffic safety team coming in to assist us to stop anybody from drinking and driving.
Missoula County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Paige Pavolone echoes the message from the Highway Patrol.
We just really want to drive home the idea that people cannot drink and drive for leaving this event. There's going to be tons of law enforcement around. It's not safe. In the past couple of years, we've had some really tragic and awful incidents occur, so it's just not going to be tolerated.
And event manager Nelani Power says camping is available, and they do all they can to keep visitors from drinking and driving.
Obviously, we have the camping, so hopefully people just stay here. You don't want them to miss any of the party. And we just run the free shuttle buses. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. It saves your life. It's, free. So what more can you offer? There's no reason for anybody to drive.
There were no traffic fatalities during last year's event. However, in 2012, 8-year-old Jacob Gamble of Seattle was killed when 35-year-old Daniel Martin drove the wrong way on I-90 not far from Rock Creek in a stolen truck and struck the Gamble vehicle head-on. A 28-year-old man has denied charges that he attacked 2 women in Missoula, pushing one of them down. Our news partners KECI Television report that William Ashley Sandell II pleaded not guilty earlier this week in district court to charges of aggravated assault, sexual assault, and attempted sexual assault. Sandell was arrested July 8th after a woman reported a man sneaked up behind her, wrapped his arms around her neck, and pulled her to the ground. The woman said she almost blacked out, but eventually was able to get free enough to scream. 3 days before that, a woman reported a man grabbed her behind while she was walking on a nature trail east of Missoula. Charging documents say Sandell told investigators both attacks were sexually motivated. He remains jailed. His bail is set at $100,000. Valley County deputies arrested 53-year-old Jack Hotzenbuehler of Darby at the Connor Bar early Saturday morning. Sheriff Chris Hoffman has details on what happened.
Deputies were told that 53-year-old Jack Hotzenbuehler of Darby had been drinking at the bar for several hours and that he'd become verbally aggressive. Hotzenbuehler allegedly got up to leave and commented that he would be back and that he would be locked and loaded.
Hoffman describes what happened when the suspect returned to the bar.
According to witnesses, Hotzenbuehler did return a short time later and was seen by other patrons getting out of his truck with a Molotov cocktail and a lighter in his hands. He was confronted by another patron who was able to subdue him before he could light the device.
Hotzenbuehler appeared in Justice Court Monday. He was charged with assault with a weapon and possession of a destructive device. Both are felonies. He was released on $10,000 bail. Well, the U.S. Army War College will, after all, have the final say over whether any punishment is warranted in a plagiarism investigation against Senator John Walsh of Montana. Spokeswoman Carol Kerr said yesterday the Department of Defense and U.S. Army Inspectors General will be notified before the release of the findings, but the authority to take disciplinary action remains with the War College. Provost Lance Betros previously said the Defense Department had asserted jurisdiction over the investigation because it involved a member of Congress. Of course, that was in yesterday's news. The college asked for and received clarification about that jurisdiction after an Associated Press story reporting Betros' comments. The school's investigation begins August 15th. After reaching full containment Monday, firefighting efforts at the shoestring fire almost done. Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest spokesman Dave Henson explains how things are expected to play out.
The two hotshot crews at Chief Mountain and the Bitterroot, and they've been working, gridding, and just securing, making sure that thing doesn't pop up again. And then we'll just downsize to one small helicopter and a short Beaverhead Deer Lodge crew of about 5 or 6 people, and they'll monitor it probably till Friday.
Areas within the fire are expected to stay hot for quite some time, though.
Oh, in a week or two, 10 days, then we'll, if nothing's come up and we've been patrolling and stuff, probably at that time, then we'll call it dead out.
Firefighting efforts were able to keep the shoestring fire just 15 acres after the fire was discovered by an airplane last Friday. Yellowstone National Park officials are asking the public to help them decide if a new quarantine system for brucellosis-free bison is a good idea. Park spokesman Al Nash explains why the idea is under consideration.
Which would allow us to remove bison from Yellowstone and make those brucellosis-free bison available for conservation, to support the culture and nutrition of Native Americans, and in doing so, reduce the number of bison that might be shipped on any given year to processing.
When asked if any of the new quarantine locations might be in Montana, Nash had this to say.
We've not identified any particular area at this time. We realize a quarantine facility could be built inside of Yellowstone. It could be located, say, on tribal lands, or it could be located some other area. This is part of what we're seeking public input on.
The public comment period on the bison quarantine idea will continue until September the 12th. Our News Talk time is 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Ample sunshine and very warm to hot today with our highs topping out in the upper 90s. There is a slight chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon. Tonight, low temperatures dip back into the upper 60s, scattered showers and storms on Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.